this edition of The Street. I am Aken Olives Nkwany. On today's edition of the program, as it is culture and routine on the street, we focus on the life of an individual, institution or organization that is doing exceptional work out there in the communities. And on today's edition of the program, we will be focusing on that institution. I call it Reconciliation and Development Association, RADA. RADA has as mission to promote community development through sustainable solutions in 4 fronts. That is in health, education, agriculture, and technology. And to talk us through the activities of this organization, I have with me on set today no other person but the Chief Executive Officer of RADA. He is, I want to call him Ferdinand because he has a name that is from the Salt Land, and I want him to pronounce that name for us this afternoon. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ake. It's awesome to be with you today.
Now, that name, Ferdinand and the rest.
It's Sonyuy, Ferdinand Sonyuy.
I will not have even attempted to pronounce it the way you did. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I want to find out from you, like they say, names have a role they play in the brand identity and also in the identification of a person or an organization like you are. Can you talk us through what inspired that name, Reconciliation and Development Association?
So first of all, I just want to also appreciate our viewers who are watching us. The name Reconciliation and Development Association was inspired by the need to be unique. Secondly, the need to represent the idea of what we are really trying to do. And it's summarized in the very meaning of the word reconciliation itself, which is basically like settling differences or closing gaps or building bridges or resolving problems. So, reconciliation is about closing gaps where there are gaps. So we seek to identify problems and then bring out or elaborate solutions to those problems. It's really all about the mindset that we have to have in our community in order to make it or leave it better. So reconciliation is about identifying problems and closing the gaps by bringing solutions for community development.
Now, I love the 2 keywords, reconciliation and development. Was there a missing link that you identified in the community and you thought that RADA was coming in to reconcile and to further promote development in the community?
Absolutely. Organizations don't get created just for fun. There must be a reason, And I think one of the key reasons is because sometimes you have to understand that we need to take responsibility, and people don't need to wait for people to do things to make things better. We have to take responsibility, and so we looked at challenges such as unemployment. We looked at challenges such as corruption. We looked at challenges that are surrounding us on a day-to-day basis, and we asked ourselves, what are people doing to solve those challenges? What is the government doing to solve those challenges? What is civil society doing to solve those challenges? And frankly, there are many people doing different things to solve the different challenges. But sometimes you don't just wait for people to do things for you. You have to allow yourself to get involved in also supporting to produce or to achieve the outcomes that everybody expects. So it's our own way of contributing, and it comes with passion. it comes with the desire to really make sure that we be the change we want to see, or we create the change that we want to see. So in 2009, I was discussing with a good number of friends of mine, and we're actually 5 of us. We call ourselves the Big Five. And we were discussing about how we have so many different problems in the community, yet there is this challenge of unemployment. And the link was so clear. We don't have employment simply because we're not solving problems. And so we need to look at how we can push for the idea, the message that yes, we have several challenges in our community, from bad roads to healthcare issues, prevention of disease, management of diseases. We have today climate change. We have several problems, so many of them across different domains: health, education, agriculture. Those different domains have challenges. But the more challenges we see, we see that there are opportunities. Those are opportunities. The very fact that we have these challenges in our community are opportunities. We can't just succumb to like sitting and crying that we have these challenges. We have to seize the opportunity of seeing these challenges in our daily lives and in our communities as wonderful opportunities to act and to be involved and to create an impact. There are different ways of solving different problems in different domains, and that's an invitation. That's an invitation because when there are different problems in different domains, we have to respond. And by the way, we have so many youth unemployed, we have so many youth graduating, thousands graduating every year, and all of them want to have jobs. But we all have to educate ourselves to realize that those jobs are buried in the multitudes of problems we have. And I don't care whichever field those problems are in. The fact that different youths specialize in different fields, or different youths aspire to work in different fields, in itself should tell us that we have solutions to different fields, because we are all interested in different fields, and there are problems in different fields right in our community. Problems around drinking water, problems around, like we mentioned, health, education, and the rest. Several problems. So I just don't want youth to think they are like condemned or cursed with problems. We have to see problems joyfully. We have to look at problems as opportunities.
Now, in one of your forwards, you say that our communities are not advancing because there is a problem of mindset. What is RADA doing to bring about a change in mindset, and as well as to suppress this spirit of inertia when it comes to problem solving?
So actually what we've started doing, we started with what we call the Circles program. And in the Circles program, it's a volunteering program which we have developed together with some friends and partners. We have developed this program to bring young people, especially graduates. We set a criteria, and then they pass through that criteria, and we bring them into RADA. And they go through 3 months of training in some specific skills that we think are responsible or are lacking, and therefore responsible for this inertia and this challenge that we have around not being able to solve our community problems. So when we bring them in, we pass them through a curriculum in RADA, and then we're able to train them in specific knowledge areas and skills, some hands-on skills, some really interesting hands-on skills that can strengthen their productivity, that can strengthen their leadership, that can make them really not just believe in themselves, but that they can solve a problem in their chosen domain and take it up. So we provide that platform in the Circles program. So far we have run the Circles program we did a test cohort, and now we have done a pilot, cohort and a cohort 1. So we have learned from that, and we're going to be launching for cohort 2 in this January. So we have had 30 young people pass through this program from 2020 when we started, I think from around September 2020. So that's the first key thing we're doing. And then the rest is about how we put the word out there through education, through other types of workshops. We're holding different kinds of workshops, topical, and then webinars as well. We're running webinars on different topics, and it's very interesting. We've had webinars with about 350 young people registered, and we have webinars that have sustained like 50 people throughout the whole session, the webinar. Everything has gone virtual with COVID-19, and for several reasons it's difficult for people to attend programs even online. But yet we are seeing the opportunity to try to transform minds and to bring the mindset that would really bring us to a good future to as many youths as possible through our workshops and our webinars.
You've already talked at length about the Circles program, which is already bringing much needed impact in our communities. But I just wanted to highlight for us in stating, what are some of the community-led initiatives that RADA is enterprising to empower people in the communities?
So yes, the Circles program is one of them. We are also working on a program to design we're designing a packaging, we're developing a packaging design to assist people to know when food is unhealthy, before they buy, like packaged food products. So we're working on this with Resolve to Save Lives and the Ministry of Health to do this design. Of course, this is in the domain of health, and we hope that will translate into prevention of diseases, particularly chronic non-communicable diseases. The other thing we're doing is that we are honored to be supporting the Cameroon Civil Society NCD Alliance by hosting its secretariat. And in that sense, we are actually running we have run a number of projects to reach out to support people living with chronic non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cancers, and more. And then we have also, especially within this last 2 years of COVID, we have done a good number of research projects to better understand the needs, the priorities and challenges of people living with NCDs, and we're using that to advocate for people living with NCDs to be meaningfully involved in NCD prevention and control, and also for the government to keep on responding to NCDs in the way that is recommended in the international space.
Now, this question is targeting you in person, away from RADA. You have taught the globe and participated in many youth community development programs. In your view, what is holding back our youths in Cameroon to attain such levels of height?
I would say what I want to say without first of all acknowledging that there are several youths who are actually creating impact in Cameroon. And that is good, that's good news. But on a general wind, we have vision as a problem. So many youths do not really yet know how to harbor a vision, to develop a vision, and to have and hold and pursue that vision. So we need to learn how the visioning process. Without the visioning process, there is no blueprint for anything, and you can't have a future. So each young person needs to know how to have a vision. Second thing is productivity. Productivity is interesting. I think that so many youths are not productive. Productivity is about self-generation, where you don't need instructions, assignments, and the rest. to actually achieve tasks that can accelerate, like solving of different problems. The other challenge is, I would say, the entitlement mentality. Like somebody owes us. So many youths feel like someone owes them. I can dare youths to really say that, we often think that one of our key challenges is finances. But I say no, it's not. The key challenge is that we're not pushing ourselves to be self-generating. We're not being productive. We're not really visionizing and being youths of vision. And at the same time, we still think that someone owes us something. Even the government does not owe us. The government does not owe us. What is taking place is we own the government. It's ours. So how can it owe us? Which means if you think there's something that the government is not doing, that the government has to do or should be doing, we as youths, especially if we think that it is jeopardizing our future, okay, because one reason you're a youth is really because you have a future. And if we think it's jeopardizing our future, either you as an individual or youth as a collective, the youth have to be able to do something about it. There are channels to do something about it. So I think that youths need to be able to do, they need courage as well, because there is really little of that around here. So many youths just, if they have to work for something, they back out. And sometimes if they have, if they are pushed to the back of the wall, they don't have the courage sometimes to push back and to push back properly. So you need courage for that. So we need to leave the mindset, entitlement mindset, but we also need to have courage to pursue. So nobody owes you anything. The government doesn't owe you. You can hold the government accountable. The government doesn't owe you. And you don't have to be appointed. You don't have to have someone bring you up somewhere, put you somewhere. All of those things are completely archaic. We should forget about them and look at the problems that are before us and ask ourselves genuinely, how do we want to solve them? And then you elaborate the solution, you think out your brains on the solution, and you bring out your passion on the issue, and you add courage to it, and you push forward. That's how youths are going to move. And I think that I'm seeing youths globally, many youths in different countries. You go to India, you go to the US, you see the difference. And then we need to pick up that spirit, that can-do spirit, not a what can you do for me spirit. I can do spirit, I think the other challenge youths are facing is the system in itself. The systems in which we live in can, and are a hindrance. And on this note, if you go like to the US, you go to Britain, you go to India, like I've been, you see there are some considerable efforts that put their systems in a position where youths can, leverage those systems and do great things. I'll give you a good example. Internet, access to internet, roads. If you have good roads in our system, if we have many other systemic adjustments that will be platforms on which youth can grow, that will lead to the brightness of the future and the contributions that youth can bring. So our systems are also a challenge, but I still challenge that we need to fix them.
Now talk us through, we are just at the first quarter of 2022. What are some of the projects or initiatives that you will be enterprising that can continue to spur development in our community, even as RADA?
So first we'll continue with the service program because we want to really see as many youths pass through that. We will continue with our project to support the development of of food labeling standards. And we will also continue to work with a couple of partners to host a major conference that is going to be, coming up, the Youth Reboot Conference. We're working on that with some other supporters and CSOs in Bamenda and around the country. And aside from that, we have the different departments that will be working on different projects, and I think that I can invite the community to follow us, and they will be able to know some of the projects we are working on, or the ideas we are working on. We of course, we will definitely always put out announcements, but if people are not connected to us in one way or the other, they might not quickly see either opportunities or updates on what we're doing. So yes, we will be doing a lot in 2022, and we're really not just hopeful, we're excited about it.
And it's on that exciting note that we're calling it quits on today's edition of The Streak. Mr. Ferdinant Sonyuy, thank you for being my guest on today's edition of the program.
It's an honest pleasure for me to have been here with you, and I look forward, and I wish Streak the best. You're doing a great job in what you're doing. I just hope and I wish that this program is going to really grow and grow and grow and keep on informing our people and giving hope the way I see it doing. Thank you so much.
And what then is the Streak? It means, and stated clearly, that our community solutions lie in our hands, and it all takes us to take the right initiative, gather the courage, and face the community problems as they are, for us to promote community development as a whole. Thank you so much, and until then, when we streak yet another individual, institution, or organization, it's been Akem Olives in Bye-bye.